Hey guys, welcome to the 4P podcast. I am your host, Michael Paterno, and I got a short episode today, episode 97. Very short, very aggravated by this dumbass statement that Ted Cruz said the other day. And I got my shirt on. So, Ted, suck it. Um, Jesus is king. One of my favorite hashtags, one of my favorite sayings. Ted Cruz can go get effed and get fucked for saying what he said. And I want to explain to you why he's saying that. So I'm not very good at like editing video and shit, so I don't know how to take another video and add it into my videos. So y'all can go look it up. Okay, Ted Cruz said, I think it was Friday, Saturday, he said that this term Jesus is king is anti-Semitic and it's hate speech towards Jewish people. Okay. So he said everybody that uses the term Jesus is king is basically saying hate speech towards Jewish people, right? Okay, so let me set this record straight. So the reason why he's saying that is because he's setting the stage, he's setting the platform for them to eventually bring over here anti-Jesus bills or um Jesus hate speech bills, just like they're trying to pass in Israel, right? So since 2022, 2023, probably even before that, they've been trying to pass bills in Israel that people can't publicly speak about Jesus. If they do and they get caught, they will get arrested and spend up to 1 year in jail. Those same people that run Israel are all Zionist. The same people that run the United States are all Zionist. They all have dual citizenship to Israel and the United States. People like Ted Cruz, people that have been spewing all this Israel first propaganda, all this Jesus hate propaganda, all this satanic evil propaganda that all these Zionist people are supporting, right? So they can use Ted Cruz. AIPAC will use Ted Cruz as the poster child to say, Jesus is king is hate speech. If you say Jesus is king, you're spewing hate speech that is offensive towards Jewish people because Jewish people don't believe in Jesus. Well, either do Zionist or Satanist. These same Zionist, Satanist people are the ones that are hiding behind the Jews, claiming to be Jewish. They're not Jewish. They're evil, satanic people. And they're not Christians or Catholics or anything either. So Ted Cruz is setting up the platform for them to allow these bills to be passed in the United States. Go back to Bill HR 6090, the anti-Semitic bill. They're still trying to pass it. It passed the House. Hasn't really passed the Senate. I'm not really sure if it did. I have to look it up. HR 6090, the anti-Semitic bill, it tells you everything that you can say. However, most people won't look this up. There's a bunch of things that you can't say. There's a bunch of things in there that you can't say that you have to refer back to the IHRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Association. If you go to their website, there's about 10 bullet points of things that you can't say. And one of those bullet points is you cannot say that the Jews killed Jesus. The Jews did not actually kill Jesus. However, they led the Jews to the Roman Catholics who did kill Jesus. Another corrupt religion, Catholic. I grew up Catholic, one of the most fucked up religions ever. Fuck all them pedophile priests and all that bullshit. I can't believe I was having a conversation with a family member. I can't believe that my parents or my parent, at the time, I was telling my mother, I said, how fucked up is it that we were young and we had to go into a confession with a strange man in a box as a young kid, knowing everything that we know now, that they're running pedophile operations through Catholic churches and all these things. But the Roman Catholics actually killed Jesus. The Jews helped bring, in the Bible, it says the Jews who led Jesus to be crucified by the Roman Catholics. So that's one thing that the International Holocaust Remembrance Association says on their website. Bill HR 6090 here in the United States that was passed by the House in 2023 states that you can't say that the Jews killed Jesus, which they didn't really kill him, but they helped in the crucifixion, um, in the murder of Jesus, I guess. So Ted Cruz saying that is ignorant. He's an idiot. He's a retard. Fuck him. And there's nothing wrong with the term Jesus is king. Jews don't believe in Jesus. Zionist, satanic, evil people do not believe in Jesus either. And they will start, you'll start seeing more things. You'll start seeing more plants like what Ted Cruz is doing. He's setting the platform, he's setting the stage for these anti-Jesus bills to be passed in the United States. So we can't publicly talk about Jesus. You can't wear, you know, you won't be able to wear like Jesus t-shirts and all this, that, and the other. Um, so that's one of my things that, and also to add to that, keep supporting all these celebrity pastors that keep telling you that you need to support these Republican politicians and these MAGA politicians, because those celebrity pastors are also propagating for this whole thing too, right? If you are a celebrity pastor, like all these corrupt fucking pastors at all these big box churches who are funneling millions of dollars through these churches, if you say that you support, say, Ted Cruz, if you're a pastor in Texas and you support, I'm a Republican, Trump, America, blah, 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 you support Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz is telling people that it's ignorant to say Jesus is king, and you're a pastor that supposedly supports Jesus and loves Jesus and preaches the word of Jesus and preaches Jesus and all these different things, then you really don't, because you're supporting somebody that doesn't believe in the same thing that you say that you believe in, right? So that also goes back to what I've been talking about for the past 60 years since LBJ got the Johnson tax amendment passed, right? LBJ said, we'll use and propagate to the churches that they will push a narrative. They will push this narrative. We will get them to push this narrative. They will use it to brainwash their congregations. If they don't push the narrative that we want them to push, we will strip their tax breaks and their funding from them, and they'll no longer be a church. So you see how the 501c3, the church, the politicians, all these people that hate Jesus versus all these people that love Jesus. If you don't love Jesus, you need to figure out how to find that love for Jesus, because it's going to be us, the people that love Jesus, versus them, the people that hate Jesus. None of these politicians that say that they, say that they're Christian or Catholics or whatever, Judeo-Christianity, they're all fucking lying to you. They don't believe in Jesus. They might say that they believe in God, and that's one thing that you'll hear a lot of. They'll always talk about God, but they'll never talk about Jesus, because Jewish people don't believe in Jesus, which is okay, but they're not Jewish. Remember Joe Biden, Barack Obama, they all said you don't have to be Jewish to be a Zionist. None of these people, all these people are hiding behind innocent Jewish people. It's the same thing that they did back in biblical times when Jesus was on earth. They all hid behind the good Judea Jewish people that were the real Middle Eastern dark Jewish people, the real Jewish people that lived in Jacob, or lived in Israel, which was Jacob, right? Because he changed his name. God gave him a piece of property, and he lived with all the Judea tribe Jewish people, not the fake Zionist satanic Jewish people, fake Zionist satanic people that tried to funnel themselves into the Jewish community to say that they were Jewish. That's exactly what we're dealing with today, 3,000 years later. All these people that claim to be Christian, claim to be Catholics or whatever, who don't preach anything about Jesus. They only talk about God, which is exactly what Jewish people do. Jewish people only believe in God, they don't believe in Jesus. And you got all these evil satanic people funneling into that community. So Jesus is king. Fuck what Ted Cruz said and just keep pushing. And I appreciate y'all. Have a blessed day. Thank you for listening to 4P Podcast. And y'all take it easy.